So, welcome to Become a Real-Time Cage Dragon with AngularJS and Firebase. So last week, the Firebase guys, they pinged me and they said, so we're going to be announcing something on Tuesday. We're not going to tell you what it is. You're probably going to have to change your slides. And no, we're not going to tell you what it is. So anyways, on Tuesday, I get this text and press release in 3, 2, 1. They sent me the link, and so it's now. I did indeed have to change my slides here. But apparently, at NG Europe, to be relevant, you have to sing. So I think it's actually, Become a Real-Time Cage Dragon with AngularJS and Firebase and Google. I really did not want to do that, but I was talking to Wojciech and he said, do it. And I said, you know what? Maybe I will. Let me introduce myself. My name is Lukas Ruebbelke. I am the author of AngularJS in Action. I'm an Egghead.io author. And I did a video course with NG and Matthias here on O'Reilly called Build a Strong AngularJS Foundation. More importantly, you can catch me on Twitter. It's Simpleton. And even more important than that is if you guys have any AngularJS questions, any Firebase questions, or you just want to say hi, shoot me an email on my blog. I would love to hear from you. So I want to start with a question. Why are we here? I mean, why do we do what we do? So let me see a show of hands. How many people love what they do? Raise them. Don't be shy. I mean, everybody. I think everybody loves what they do, and that is phenomenal. I truly believe that I am in a room right now with some of the smartest, most passionate people in the world. And the reason why I believe we are so passionate is because I believe that we love to create things that people love, that is relevant, that helps people's lives be better by solving a problem, or helping them do things better, or even just bringing some element of entertainment into their life.
Yeah, let's enjoy.
Yeah. So one of my favorite books is Lean Startup by Eric Ries. And the reason why I love this book is because he talks about bringing feedback loops into product development. And as software developers, this is a really easy sell, because this is what agile software development is all about. Every week or every 2 weeks, depending on how long your sprint is, we have an opportunity to put what we've built in front of the people that matter and get feedback on how to make that better, on how to improve it. And so that's why I love AngularJS. And I think we've all had that moment where you have an idea and you're able to express it in AngularJS much quicker than you would have been able to previously. And kind of that moment where it's like, wow, that was really easy, and it's working, and it's here. I need to go show somebody. But not only do I love AngularJS for that, I love any tool that helps me build better things faster. And one of those tools is Firebase. And so this is the world according to Lukas. This is how I see Firebase. It's a backend as a service with real-time capabilities and a world-class hosting solution that you can deploy to in seconds. And so I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by that in a demo. So originally, the demo was going to be called Falafel Manager. But I've got unicorn fever. Thanks a lot, Brian and Jeff. And so, a little caveat. I have one dependency for my demos to work, And that, unfortunately, is the internet. So after Zach's talk, I ran back to the hotel, and I recorded all my demos, and I made it back just in time. I'm just kidding. I knew this was going to happen yesterday. But, so, I'm not going to live code. I'm not going to be on Vim. Sorry, Matthias. You win that award. Or Andy, in that case. You guys are amazing. But let me show you a demo of this. So, this is the ability to track unicorn sightings across all of the major monuments in Paris. And so you can see when I update it in one window that it actually updates in the other. So this is happening in faux real time. If anybody actually doesn't believe this is happening, I'd be happy to show them at the hotel later. This is not an animated GIF I did in Photoshop, I really promise. And so all the code for this is here. So this is for the Falafel Manager. I may, if enough people bug me, and if I get annoyed enough, I may push this into a separate repo or a separate branch. But with that said, you can download the code. It's fully functional, so it's a fully functioning AngularJS and Firebase application. And so if anybody actually wants to take this and submit it to a client and sell it to them for money, I give you permission. That would be awesome. So my gift to you. And so the only other thing you need to get this application up and running is a free Firebase account. And so if you do not have a Firebase account, please use this URL. If enough people sign up, I actually get a pony when I get back to the States. With that said, I'm really being serious now. Okay, I'm done. Firebase has a very generous free tier, and so I do a lot of proof of concept work using their free tier, or even if it's kind of a low traffic, kind of an application, you're totally fine. With that said, before I left, I broke into their headquarters, hacked into their computers, and I generated a top secret code for 700 of my best friends here today. And so it's NG Lukas 1 because, well, I mean, I guess, no, I'm not going to say that. So this is good for a free month of their candle plan. So if you're going to go in production, you can use this. And I basically gave everybody like $50. So they'd, yay! We're rich! Okay, now we're getting serious. So Firebase is a real-time application platform that when data changes, apps built on Firebase update instantly across every device, web or mobile. So that's pretty impressive. I mean, I've actually done this in Socket.io, which is great tech, but there was a lot of kind of things that I had to do. And so I understand and I appreciate the complexity of actually doing real-time applications and keeping data in sync across connected clients. So going back to building things better and faster, Firebase built a bunch of full-featured libraries for all major web and mobile platforms with bindings for the most popular frameworks. So what do I mean when I say all major web and mobile platforms? Ta-da! So you have iOS, OS X, iOS 8, Android, Angular, Ember, Backbone, JavaScript, React, Node, Java. I'm out of breath. A lot. So that's pretty cool. I mean, you can build on almost anything. I think there's some .NET stuff out there. I think there's some Rails stuff. You can actually even just interact directly with JavaScript. But did I say bindings? Oh, I said bindings. So AngularJS and Firebase, they got together. They were hanging out. There was some sweet soul music playing in the background. May have affected the mood. We have Ron Isley here. If you don't know who he is, look him up. He's pretty phenomenal. And I agree. They made a baby. And this baby is Angular Fire, and it's beautiful. So Angular Fire is the official supported Firebase bindings for AngularJS. And so what this allows you to do is associate a Firebase endpoint with an Angular model, so that when you update your Angular model, is that instantly and transparently, the Firebase endpoint is updated at the server, and then any other connected client immediately gets updated as well. So, going back to my original statement, Firebase is a backend as a service with real-time capabilities and a world-class hosting solution that you can deploy to in seconds. So I have 3 demos prepared for you. And so the first one is backend as a service. So I have created a Firebase application in Firebase. Let the adventure begin. So I click onto the app, and you can see in the URL that I have unicorn.firebase, and then I have 2 models in there that I've kind of pre-populated. And so these are some local data models that I'm just pulling from. Now you can see those. They're just basically a JSON object. So from here, I simply need to inject the Firebase submodule, and then I go to the Unicorn site service. I inject the Firebase service, and now pay attention. You're going to miss this. It happens so fast. Is I instantiate the Firebase service with a Firebase reference. So I'm just pasting in the URL from the browser. And then there's actually a naughty word in here. I apologize. It's as array. And so I'm simply saying return this as an array. So that affects kind of the API. And so from here, now that's all I had to do to pull from Firebase. Essentially 1.5 lines of code. So here is the beauty of this. And this is what I mean by backend as a service. When I go to that URL in Firebase, I get what's called the forge, which shows me the object graph. And so I am able to actually update the data directly in the object graph. And you can see it's updating in my second window over here. So we've already got kind of the read part in place. And we were able to synchronize that in, like I said, 1.5 lines of code. We inject Firebase, the Firebase service, and then we simply say, I want to take this local data model and I want to replace it with an instance of the Firebase service. So that's real-time 0.5. Let's finish this off with the ability to create, update, and delete on that model. So you see here as I update these, nothing's actually happening. And I told myself I was going to come sit in this chair. Oh, this is nice. Okay, so hopping into the code. So it's unicorn sites, $add unicorn. I mean, all this typing is making me exhausted. And so now, I think there's been some unicorns cited at the creperie. And behold, it was added. I wish I would slow down. So we're going to actually update. So that's just $save, and then you actually just pass in the ID of the object you're manipulating. So at the creperie, holla! That's my favorite one that I like to go to. And then let's just get that crazy creperie out of place. So it's $remove. Adios. Au revoir. See you later. So, $add, $save, $remove. That's all I had to do to manipulate my data in Angular and then synchronize it back to the service. The third statement, a hosting solution that you can deploy to in seconds. So they come, you can actually download via NPM the Firebase tools, which I've already done, thankfully. So hopping into the command line, Firebase init. So I think we're familiar with that. We're going to go with the unicorn. So it simply says, what app do you want to go with? For the people, I realize it's going to be hard to see on the bottom. A few seconds later, it's ready to go. We're going to do Firebase deploy. So now it's deploying. And because I'm super lazy and I don't actually go to the browser, Firebase open, and it's actually, we'll open it up in the browser. So again, better things faster. So we'll just paste this in and see this in action one more time. And so you can see that it's actually being deployed to Firebase and still retaining its real-time capabilities. Don't get too excited that I'm done just yet. I would like to, thank you. So just to recap what we've seen today is I believe we really truly love to build things. And for me personally, I love to build things faster and better so that I can put them in front of people and find out if they like them or not. And the closer I get to building something that people love, then intrinsically, that is what drives me. That's where my passion comes from. And that's why I love Angular, because it helps me do that in a massive way. And I love Firebase because it just helps me build better things faster. And I'm not a DevOps guy. That's not really my wheelhouse. And so being able to not have to worry about that and focus on what I really truly love is really nice. And it allowed me to fall in love with the technology. Please go and download the repo and play around with it and build something. Like that would be, I think for me, the most satisfying thing of being here and overcoming my stage fright and getting in front of 700 people is that I really truly hope that you'll take this and try it, and you may like it, you may love it, you may not like it at all, or you may say, this is great, kind of, but maybe not so much. But all I'm asking is go try to build something awesome with AngularJS and Firebase, and that would make me so very happy. Thank you. So, apparently I have time for 2 questions. So the question is, why are my Bitly links not working? I framed that in a question because it really was more of a statement. But I want you to have this Chromecast here. So come on up, and I will post all of this on my blog, One Hungry Mind. And so they will be fixed. The internet prevented me from doing that.
Thank you so much.
All right, over here. All right, you standing up right there. You are so excited.
Can Firebase be used to store arbitrary JSON data?
Yes. So the question is, can Firebase be used to store arbitrary JSON data? And the answer is absolutely. Is that Firebase essentially is, it's just a JavaScript object that you are basically keeping in sync. And so you can put anything you want in there, and Firebase will accept that. So that's true. So the statement was, last time he checked, there were some restrictions on key names, and I believe that is the case. I think also with Angular, there's a few things that they've had to do in Angular Fire because of key names there. So I think that is absolutely correct. So I probably wouldn't create an object and call it like class or new and try to store it into Firebase. But you, sir, have won something. I think it might be chocolates or a computer, a chocolate computer with a golden ticket. No, thank you. Thank you. I'll be in the, sorry. I did forget something. So, where's Luke at? Did you do the thing? The thing is done. So I had a suitcase of t-shirts and stickers and sunglasses, and they're all out on a table over there. Don't everybody run out there at once. But if you would like a t-shirt or some sunglasses, go help yourself. I do not want to take them back to the States. I need room for chocolate and other delicious delicacies. Now I'm done. Thank you.